Hi, friends. I'm just waiting on Amy Joe, to come over. There she is. Let's add her in, peeps. Here she comes. I feel her presence getting near.
Hey!
Amy Joe. I gotta raise the chair. Amy Joe and Amy Co. Here we are. Here we are. We got people joining us. I'm waving at them. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Yeah, you can say it.
We could talk in a little bit about it. It has been a 24-hour news cycle in my home.
Yes.
Let's see. Mackenzie said hi. I had a split second. Okay. So sleep well last night. I had a split second between clients and wanted to say hi.
Oh, hey.
Hey, girl. Hey. Woo! Just wanted to get that out.
Right. It's like a sigh of relief. We made it.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just very sleep deprived because of the puppy.
Oh, God bless. Is it? It's not doing well.
It's just, learning the rhythm and getting the schedule. It's it's like a baby. So basically taking
it really is like a newborn. When you have a baby, it's like having a newborn. I'm going to turn this a little bit because I accidentally turned my lights the wrong way. So now I can.
I know. I was trying to adjust this because, I was like, that's probably not the greatest angle there, right?
I have mine propped up on my computers.
Oh, there you go.
I've gotten this little makeshift thing going now. So
there we go. I tried to get a little bit put together today, like the first day in 30.
If you only knew what I look like below this line.
PJs.
Literally, I'm in PJs and fuzzy socks. This t-shirt underneath this Patagonia is the PJ shirt I slept in last night. We say sleep loosely right now.
Oh, yeah.
You can get a whole lot of that. I have vertigo. I think we've talked about this. You and I have talked about this before. I get vertigo headaches, and I had one of those all night last night. I don't know if it's from the car accident that we were in or...
Yeah, that's concerning.
I don't know, but I didn't sleep well and had a vertigo headache, so my eyes are a little
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that's the worst. I've had my own battle with vertigo. I actually had to change my diet a little bit because of it. So since we have to, shoot straight and everything for our job, it's kind of important.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wake up and not go somewhere for a vertigo headache. So I'm like, okay, we'll just keep going. I did wake up in flow days and took some allergy meds, just trying to get myself together. So anyway,
that helps a little bit.
All right. Well, it's 2:00. Actually, it's 2:02.
Okay, cool.
Oh, look at all these people, fun people joining. Hello, everyone. We'll have people float in and out too.
Yeah, I think I saw Misty in there.
Yeah, she's in here.
Aw.
So we decided not to overly do questions for our Q&A, the two of us, because we just have a lot to talk about general most days. So I was like, I don't want to stifle our time together with a lot of questions. I do have some that people asked and that were asked of us, and then some generic ones that I've been asking everybody because they're just too fun not to ask. But I just thought it would be fun for us to shoot from the hip a little bit. Yes. The Amy's time to do that.
Amy squared.
Amy squared. So one of the questions that we've gotten asked every single time, I think the same person's asking it every single time, is how do we two know each other? So I'll let you start.
Yes. Okay. So, I know that Callie Lindsay introduced us.
Deep.
Callie Lindsay. Yes. She introduced us, and I'm trying to remember our first thing because I feel like we met on Instagram because of her. But then
and we met on Instagram, connected. I think we DM'd a lot within a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And then just we both have 5,000 kids between us. So We couldn't figure out how to meet each other in person. Because we got 1,100 kids.
Yeah. Maybe we can have like, you know, a brunch sometime in between everything we do and taking people places and doing all the things. So yeah.
But then we did end up we were both available on the day that Natalie Frank came to Atlanta.
That was awesome.
Aww. Yeah, and that was the first time we met in person. We met Natalie on the same day that we met each other.
And we met all those Atlanta friends because that was the 2 days together Atlanta meeting that she came to. There was like, I felt like there was like 200 people there at that meeting.
Yeah, it was a substantial.
Like, yeah, but it was so fun. And then we like had lunch and took photos, and of course, like that's what we do. So
right. And then Callie, she visited, I think, a couple weeks later. She'll come spend the night with us a couple times a year. And she came and spent the night, and you and I and Callie met up for some fun headshot branding stuff. So sorry.
That was so
that was fun. I think when we met, God just totally joined our hearts in a really unique way.
Yes.
And for me, like I had called Callie. We had walked out, you know this, we had walked out of a really hard ministry season. I felt very alone in Atlanta. I felt like I had no Atlanta photographer friends. I had left a really cool network in Alabama.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was just kind of lonely. And I told Callie that, and she was like, no more. I have the friend for you. Literally. And that's how we connected.
Okay. We're not doing this. Yeah.
And you know, Callie, she was like,
yep, she's quotable.
That's what she would do to me. Ames, we're going to fix this for you. So she called me Ames. Ames, we're going to fix this for you. She probably calls you Ames too. Since we're both Amy. And I just remember that when we connected, it was just a moment. Like I knew that I had a friend in you. I mean, you have become a confidant in my life too, like in my personal and private life. Which I love. But Callie really orchestrated all that.
Yep, she did. So yay, Callie. And also I haven't seen her in forever. So
we actually saw her. She stopped by, like surprised us and stopped by.
Oh.
Sometimes she'll just knock on my door. Callie Lindsay. If you don't follow Callie Lindsay, like, number one, who doesn't follow Callie Lindsay? She's got like 5 million followers. Not that many, but she has a lot. But she loves my kids. And sometimes I'll just hear her knock at the door and I'm like, is somebody supposed to come by? And we'll go to the door and I'm like, hi, Cal. What's up? I just love her because of that, though. I love that she feels comfortable enough in my home.
Yeah.
She loves her some Josh Sullins.
Oh, it's so sweet. She's great. She's great.
She's great. And she took our hearts and bound them together.
I'm so glad.
I am too. I'm so thankful. So that was a great, that moment for me was a turning point, I think, for my Atlanta world. We don't really live close to one another. You can tell people where you live.
Yeah. So I'm in Augusta, and I mean, I basically have been in the Augusta area my entire life because I went off to school in South Georgia and then came right back. So, and you know, it's a great city. It's kind of like it's actually decently large, but it kind of still functions like a small town. So,
but you've done well there, girl.
Yeah.
You also shoot for a magazine there. Tell us about that.
I do. I shoot for Augusta Magazine, and I do a lot of covers for them and like style shoots for them that they want to feature. And it's been really fun to get into that because it's a totally different dynamic than like weddings and families and stuff. So, and what they're looking for, and their really quick turnaround and things like that. So, and I love community. So it's been really fun to get to know so many different people and different business owners by being, you know, a photographer for them.
Yeah.
So go in and shoot at different little places, and whatever's new happening, you know, is usually featured. So it's kind of neat. So
you do amazing. Yeah. Like your branding stuff is some of my favorite. Like I love your weddings, and I refer you. I mean, Amy's my go-to girl. If I can't shoot a wedding and people are like, then who can? I'm like, well, if you want something similar to me, then you're going to want to go over to Amy Jo, because our styles do have a lot of similarities. We have our own ways about doing some stuff, but like for the most part, our styles are pretty spot on and similar.
Are also extremely bubbly and encouraging. So that's style, just being super real and fun. So that's
we're not silly, Amy. Don't put that on me. When we're together at restaurants, y'all, like we try our best to meet up every other month. I mean, that's as good as we can get. And when we try our best, the poor waitresses, I always feel so bad for them. They're like, "Are you ready to order yet?" I'm so sorry. We've been sitting here for an hour and 40 minutes and we haven't looked at the menu.
Because we
we cannot slow down. I think it's because we don't get to see each other in person a whole lot.
I think it would be different if we were like, you know, in the same community and we could like every week or whatever. But yeah, we just get so excited that we get to actually see each other's faces.
We do. And we order our food and then it's cold by the time we really eat it because we can't slow down. I love it. Okay, so here was a cool question that I got asked with Caitlin and I also got asked for you is how has the virus really affected your business?
Yeah. Well, just I'll say it like I am very grateful that I've been able to a lot of the weddings that have rescheduled, they just canceled. They actually scheduled to dates that I could shoot, which is wonderful because I have couples who I'm real good friends with, and I'm very grateful. This year is just amazing. I have some of the sweetest people that I get to shoot for, and most of them were able to move their weddings to dates I could photograph, you know, another date.
Praise the Lord.
And only one postponed where, you know, they had a date and I'm just getting a helper so that I can still like do their album design and all that because I really love getting to do that part since you know, the art background and all that. I just absolutely love getting to put that stuff in print and design it. So so for the most part that's been good. It's definitely affected like regular sessions. So I haven't shot in 45 days, I think, maybe more. Yeah.
That's a record for you, I'm pretty sure.
And I'm a person who's normally, I mean, every 3 days I'm shooting something. Whether it's commercial, the magazine, family, you know, other than weddings. So seniors, all that. So we just postponed. We're going to do the best we can to like, I will probably still get to shoot some seniors in May, like maybe on private property, social distancing, you know, making sure we're abiding by the rules and being safe. But that's been really hard. And I would say it's really affected me emotionally and mentally more than even financially. Like, yes, there's been a hit, but like, it's just so hard when you have so much, you feel called to do something, you feel purpose in it, and then you can't do it. And then, and also we've had people even in our extended family that have had the virus. And you know, that's tough, you know, and so far it's been okay. Like they're sustaining and getting better, but it just throws you totally off of what your whole world. What's going on.
And that's even similar to us. I know that you have walked a little bit of a similar path that us too. We've had a lot of weddings reschedule. I think our number is at 9 now. We've rescheduled over 20 plus sessions that we've decided just because we have ministry, like we're having to make some decisions like based off of twofold type things. And because ministry, we need to be available to record worship services. We've decided not to accept any sessions until June 14th. So as of right now, that's our tentative date to start allowing sessions back on our calendar again. So that's been really hard, but I know that you've had some personal stuff go on and we have too. We have lost now, as of last night, 2 dear friends. And when you lose somebody in the middle of this, when you can't grieve the way that you're used to grieving people, you know, like going and hugging those people and loving them and things like that. So I know that you also have walked through something similar like that. We've both walked this road.
It's just, it's really, it's been really hard to even be able to do what you would normally do to help comfort your family when they lose somebody, when you can't go anywhere. And so like, that has been really difficult. I mean, it makes me like want to cry right now. Like,
yeah,
makes me crazy. Because you just want to do anything you can to help somebody that's hurting. And then when you can't, you're just like, well, what do you, after you throw money at, you know, I can send you money. I can send you a meal. But I can't, like, what I love to do is be present and hug them and all those things. And so, yeah, that part.
yeah, the virus, I mean, like, it's obviously affecting our business world. I mean, and that, I think that's the hard part too, is typically we would find joy, like we would go through grief stages,
Yeah.
but then there would be a sense of joy that would kind of like come back to us because our businesses you and I are very similar to this. We don't really view our business. I mean, our business is definitely sustaining for our families. Like, it financially provides for our families and our children. So we're grateful for that side of it.
Yes.
But it's more than that for both of us. Like,
yeah.
we're not, if we were in this for the money, we would have left it a long time ago. I mean, I think that's just the way that you and I view it, because it's not all in a bag of chips. People think that we're just like,
right. No.
We're bankrolling. We're not. That's just not what our jobs are.
Yeah.
And we work a lot harder than I think a lot of people know and even acknowledge that we work as wedding photographers. And I know a lot of people are probably sitting there, if they're watching this later on YouTube or if they're watching it now, they're probably just rolling their eyes like, yeah, right. But when you shoot a wedding and then you and I are similar to the way we sneak peek.
Yeah.
When we stay up half the night.
Yeah.
To get that couple of sneak peek. And then for me, I'm up the next morning at 5:30 leading worship.
Which we used to be that because we used to lead worship for 12 years. We led worship at different churches, you know, but yeah, just in the last 2 years, we haven't done that part. But my husband has other things he does. So
exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people don't understand that it's not just like us shooting weddings, the wedding editing, because you and I both, neither of us outsource at the moment.
No, I don't. And there are people that probably will see this and probably roll their eyes because they've been telling me, Amy, you need to outsource. But it's just one of those things. Yeah.
You told me I needed to outsource the other night.
Hashtag outsource. Yeah. But some of it is, you know, I think too, if we know we can do it on our system and we're pretty quick with it, it's the volume. It's not usually the actual editing. It's just the volume.
Right.
And you're doing multiple sessions on top of weddings. Yes, that's where the time, and last year, I think I had several days of 10, 12, 14-hour days of editing. And that thing. So when you see photographers go out and they're like, for the weekend or traveling somewhere, they've earned it.
You don't even know to the level that we've earned it. When I tell you, like I told you in a post earlier this week, like the Instagram world, that I was taking off Wednesday through Sunday or Monday. I may even go as far as Monday. I don't even know. That's because I worked for 6 straight weeks. I mean, you know this, Amy, you did too. Yeah. Rescheduling, talking to brides, trying to comfort them. I sent them cookies. I'm trying to do anything I can
because you can't go physically meet with them and have coffee or hug them or all the things you normally can do, you can't do.
Right. And so we're fighting, like, we know that our business will eventually turn. I mean, we know that as wedding photographers, thankfully, we have a kind of a secured promise. I mean, we don't have a promise that they'll book us, but we do know that there will be weddings again.
Sure.
And we know that we have gotten bookings before, so we will likely have them again. We take comfort in that, but at the same time, we still feel like we're having to save a business. We're fighting for our business in these moments.
And also walking that fine line, which you and Josh talked about a lot on your other, like your YouTube post, you know, where you've got to be sensitive to where people are, but also still market yourself in a healthy way. And it's like walking a tightrope.
It really is, because there's not, like, I think that's why we did that particular YouTube thing. And we're actually working on a couple other ones. It's been slow. We've had a lot of stuff happen. If you weren't here last night, we had a wreck and we hit a deer. We had planned to come home. We had a whole list of things we were going to do when we got home. And 2 deer ran, actually 3, but 2 of them only hit us. And it was horrible. Like, I'm so sore. I don't think I realized quite how hard we hit the deer until this morning when I woke up. Yeah. But, like, crap is happening. I mean, literally happening. And so things have been slow. And I know that's the same for you. Like, we're trying to also soak in these moments.
Right.
Because it is rare that we get a 2-month span of nothing to do with our families. So I'm also trying to not only still work and save my business and resuscitate life to it after this, but we're also trying to have these moments. We both have seniors.
Yep.
We're both trying to take these moments and go, you know what? Maybe, just maybe I should enjoy this a little bit.
Right.
That I don't have.
Normally, we'd be everywhere. And maybe getting and I don't know about you, but sometimes when the time for reflection comes for me at night, when everybody's like quiet and asleep, and so sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, and then it hits me, I have a senior, like, gonna leave. You know,
she's gonna leave me forever. And I wanted to point out, Kate's here. Caitlin, I see you, girl.
Hey, Caitlin.
We love Caitlin.
I love Caitlin. I miss body so. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so we've both, I mean, I think that's a long, probably answer, I don't even care, to that question, but we've both been kind of just trying to survive in we have multiple children doing multiple things.
Yes.
I know for you guys, you had several things canceled. We did too, you know, when it came to school and, I mean, your performances. You're a dancer, Amy.
Yes.
Tell the world you're a dancer. So I have boomerangs of this girl dancing.
It all started, I'm just kidding, I won't go back that far, but I was like 3 or 4. Like, my mom said that I would, actually younger than that, I would stand, she had a mirror 70s house here, a closet door that was a mirror, and I would go and stand in front of it, and I would dance and sing, and I wasn't even 2 yet, and she said I would just clap, and I couldn't even like form normal sentences, but I would sing like,
but you could body roll.
And just dance. And so I always had this thing about dance and expression and, like, you know, journey through. I did actually, you know, join the studio and all that as I got older. I was better at like jazz and like lyrical, you know, more modern stuff, and my sister was more like the ballet girl and that kind of thing.
But
and
that's so you though. Like, that's so you. That is just, everything about you screams like artsy, creative.
Oh yeah, I am literally like, what are you gonna do when you retire? Arts advocate all the way. I will like either probably be a curator at a museum or, you know, do something for the arts full time.
But that's funny. That is where Amy and I differ a little bit, because we are both very creative in our own right, but she has this like different type of creative side to her, and I have this very organizational, analytic kind of side to me.
Yes.
So sometimes we look at each other and I'm like, what do you mean, girl? And then she'll look at me and be like, what do you mean? Like today we laughed about getting on Instagram Live, and I was like, I'm going to give Amy a 4-point step on how to join, because she's laughing because she knows it. That's what we love about each other, is that sometimes I need that creativeness to come back, and I'm like, Amy, share some of this love, this hippie love with me that you got. And then she's like, Amy, tell me how to hashtag.
I need instructions.
That's why we get along so well. It's because we are very similar, but when we're different, it's different, girl. It's different.
Also, I'm pretty sure that, like, I like sports, and I grew up on the ball field because my brother was a baseball player. But I think you follow sports, like, you are like a diehard, like, Braves fan, like.
Oh yes.
You and I don't. I have a hard time with TV sometimes. Period. But like, I'm more prone to watch a design show, like in or architecture. You know, it's just.
And I'm like football, baseball, basketball all day long. I also played, I played basketball in high school though.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't want it to sound like I'm just some weird woman. Josh is a creative too, if you've been around for any length of time, and Paul is too. Paul is Amy's husband. Oh yeah. So we both have like the creative side husbands too. Like Josh is a musician. He went to school to be actually a band director, a music education major. Ended up being a minister, music minister, a worship pastor. But he's extremely creative too. Like has just a creative mind. Very analytical too. Very analytical, but has a creative mind. But he didn't watch sports either. Like when he was growing up, that's just not what they did around the house. Yeah. So when he married me, I was like, Here's a rule. You must watch sports and learn what they are.
Here are your teams.
These are your teams. This is who we cheer for. He's gonna kill me for this. This is who we cheer for. And I remember when we first started watching basketball, he would go, What are they doing? Like, I don't understand what they're doing there. I'm like, well, that was a pick. But now Caleb's a sports nut like me, so Caleb and I just sit and watch sports 24/7.
That's so cool. And that's a great bonding point. I love that. Awesome.
Oh, I love this. So Jen said, Amy, I gave Brian the same talk too. I love that I'm not alone. You have to tell them. Sometimes we think that all men grow up in sports homes, and that's just not the case.
Right.
Josh's dad was not athletic. Yeah. He was more musical too. And so, I grew up in a home. I mean, like, I was born in August, and I have a picture of me in like a Georgia Tech onesie watching football at a week old. Like, my dad, I used to keep a notebook. Y'all to learn some deep stuff about Amy Cole. I used to keep a notebook during Brave season, and I kept up with their stats.
Oh.
Every game.
Okay. That's next level. Like,
that's a problem. This is where my analytics, though, this is why I think I love it.
You started that all back then.
See, you started dancing early. I started analytics early, girl. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we'll do a fun question. I mean, we're already having fun, so let's do a fun one. What is your favorite ice cream?
Ooh. Okay.
This could get tricky.
Okay, I like a lot, but I'm gonna say, right? Like, how do you choose? If it's just like I go in and I'm just getting like one scoop, it's usually gonna be pistachio. I actually love that freaking flavor. I know it's kind of.
But you want to know who else loves that?
Who?
Josh Sullins. That man can eat pistachio anything. He loves.
I love him. I love them. I think what it is it's sweet, but it also has that savory side.
And I love the color.
I do. Oh, and my favorite here, this place, of course we can't go right now, but the rolled ice cream, you know, where they roll.
Oh yeah.
Love that. And they have the best. So that's what I always get there is that pistachio rolled. I think that's the greatest thing ever.
She's like, her mouth. She's drooling. So Caitlin, if Caitlin's still here, I'm sure she is.
Okay.
Caitlin and I discussed the other day that our favorite is Neapolitan.
Yes. I can see.
Like, I started thinking more about this in depth. I really love a Neapolitan that's like a natural Neapolitan.
Yes.
Like, I don't mind the cart just Neapolitan, you know, like the generic Publix cart. But like, there are some of them, like for instance, Bluebell has this Neapolitan one that has like the real natural strawberries in it and like the vanilla bean. That's probably my favorite one. But Josh laughs because I stir it together.
You do. So
I make my own favorite. We call it Amapolitan. Jen Pierce came up with that. Amapolitan.
What are you having? Amapolitan?
I'm having my Amapolitan ice cream. Don't judge me. Get away. But at Jenny's, you know, I'm a huge fan of Jenny's. I love Brambleberry Crisp.
Oh, yeah.
And brown butter almond brittle and gooey butter cake and sweet potato marshmallow.
Yeah.
And skillet cinnamon roll.
Gooey butter cake right about now. I could have that.
Will they open, please, just for me to go in?
Can't you do curbside?
Can you do curbside for Jenny's?
Right.
We're on a diet this week, so I probably should not do that.
Oh my God.
We're not dieting. We're just trying to come off of the sugar that we've been eating. I think I've ate 14 cookies a day for about 6 weeks.
Yes, it's really bad. And also, I love, love, love lemon Oreos.
Oh.
Those are like my favorite grocery store.
I have never had lemon Oreos.
Well, just know if you do, get some. You're going to want to eat the whole thing.
I may put those in my order cart next time and not tell Josh.
They are amazing.
I have been hiding from my kids. Have you?
Yes.
Good. Okay, I feel better then.
Are you kidding? You're not alone.
The other night, y'all, we're just gonna take a sidebar here. And this is why I didn't get too many questions. This is why I didn't ask for so many questions, because I knew we would do this. The other night we ordered, before we were gonna start our like get back to health kick, we ordered some groceries, and I love fudge sticks, like Keebler fudge sticks. Have you ever had those? And I love putting them in the fridge so that they get cold.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I bought those for myself to just have a little splurge, and I was going to hide them in the back of the fridge. And when I came down, Avery had ate the entire package. I wanted to hurt him. I was
like, why the whole thing?
Why? You ate literally 34 fudge sticks. Have your kids done that?
Oh yeah. Sometimes the hardest thing for us is when cookies are made, which is usually Anna, our middle child, that makes them.
Right.
Just getting everyone to stick to the number that she says, okay, everybody has 2 or everybody has 3, or, and just waiting, because if they just sit there and everyone doesn't come down all at once to get them,
they're gone.
They're like kind of a free for all. Like, well, so-and-so didn't come down. So
I get their 4. Yeah. I know. And again, Amy has 5 children. Yeah. I only have 3. Can you imagine her grocery bill compared to mine?
It's a lot.
We did have the grocery bill conversation she and I did on a FaceTime the other night. And I was like, can you please reassure me that, $3,000 in 2 months is not too much for groceries? She was like,
no.
That's on target.
I told my kids the other day I was going to make a little thing about it. You might be an Owen if, and one of the main ones is if you can wrap your grocery receipt around your neck like a scarf. That's how you know you're an Owen.
Well, then that's how you know you're a Sullins too. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's move on to another question. Let's see.
Good.
I'm looking through them. So when you work, what does your work environment look like? Like where do you sit? What do you listen to something? Do you not listen to something? She's like, damn it, right?
You're in my chair.
Yeah.
So normally I listen to a podcast. I tend to be able to still get what they're saying while I create visually, also listen to sermons. Sometimes I put on worship. It just depends. If I'm dealing with something, in my personal life and it's heavy, I definitely put on worship while I edit, because like I'm able to tune into the Lord and do my job and get it done. Right. That's a great way to do that. And then podcaster, I just try to choose really uplifting ones, people that I can really relate to. And then occasionally I'll pull up somebody that's like not my personality at all, like, and just see what they say about business or, I like
do you have a favorite podcast that you listen to?
Yikes. I'm trying to think. I mean, I was listening to Amy and Jordan for a while. Obviously, Caitlin just started and it started one, which I love. I mean, it's Caitlin. Who doesn't love? I love listening to anything that she, puts out, because we have we have the same beliefs and stuff. But and I love to hear how she's doing life with kids, because I was following her way back in the day when nobody, she had maybe 5,000 or 6,000 followers when I started following her back in the day. And I used to say to myself, I wonder.
You froze. There you are. I wonder.
Are you there?
Yep. You went, I wonder.
Said, I used to say to myself, because at that time I had just started getting into photography full time and leaving my art teaching job. And at that time I would just be like, man, she's so productive, and used to feel so envious. But I had 5 kids, she didn't have any. And so I remember just being like, I wonder what she'll be like when she has children. And so it's neat to see like how she's evolved into what the Lord has done in her life now is just so sweet. And so I really enjoy. I'm glad that she started that. I think that's a really great thing. And I love, different worship leaders. They do a podcast. I'll tune into that, just because Paul and I aren't currently leading worship anywhere, but we are still worship leaders. We still sing, we still, and occasionally we'll guest lead worship songs. So, but anyhow, So I like to stay connected to that vein. And then also just different artists that I admire and stuff. Somebody else I love is Jeremy Cowart, the photographer out of Nashville. And he's actually an Enneagram like 4. He is such an artist. And so I find sometimes it's good for me to hear from people that aren't necessarily building a photography business like we are, the wedding. He's just totally creating whatever is in him to do. And I love that. And so those things are really inspiring. So what about you?
My favorite podcast, well, I love Jess Creatives. I mean, she's a friend of mine. I'm not just saying that because she's a friend. I have been listening to her podcast pretty regularly just because she has a lot of business insight from a world that I don't fully understand sometimes, like the website side of the things. So I love her podcast. I love Annie Downs' podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about Enneagram in a minute, but like if you didn't go back and listen to her Enneagram series this past summer, I would highly suggest going back and listening to that series that she did through the summer on each Enneagram and what that means, because that was very informative to me as I was getting to know my number and who I am and feeling confident in my number. I even had for here and there, I had some people tell me that they thought I was a different number. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, I know I'm not that number. Like, I feel that. And now, especially, I don't know about you, but now if you look at your triangle, like where the numbers, like your unhealthy and your stress numbers are, now that I understand that even more, I'm like, whoa, okay. Yeah. I'm totally a 3.
Yeah.
Totally a 3. And 9 in stress and a 6 in unhealth. Like, I totally know that that's who I am.
That's so awesome. I didn't know. I wasn't aware of like her doing that. So I'll have to
go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
It's really good. What's your Enneagram? I know what it is, but tell me.
I'm a 2 wing 3. But there are times, like, you know how you just feel like, okay, I feel that. Like when you see those random posts about different numbers. But yeah, I think I register with 2s the most because everything on it fires for me. So, and then the wing 3, obviously, which is you're the opposite. So
I think that's what's so funny about us is that you see where our differences are even in those, like how I have this more like constant, like have an alert, like this analytical side of me, and yours is the more creative. I need to hug, like, and I need that too, and you need that too. But it's kind of funny how it coincides together.
And then I have a side that's very driven and very like, if I don't get this done, I don't know, and it very like goal, like,
yes,
to happen or I will hurt something.
Yes. You are very much like that. That's why you turn around your weddings in like a week to 2 weeks. And I'm sitting here going, it's okay if you don't do that. I tell her that all the time. I'm like, your clients will be okay if they don't get their wedding in a week.
Several people have said that.
And she's like, I know, but I won't be. That is where we're different.
I'm very good at meeting my own, like if it's a goal against myself, like just drive it home, get it done.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I love that about you. So let's talk about, so when is your first wedding back? So as of right now.
So it's going to, hopefully, Lord willing, June 26th, I believe. Yeah. So, which I'm pretty sure is a Friday. Yeah. So actually the first weekend back. Yeah. I don't have my calendar sitting here. I'm just like, where is it?
I have one. It's right here.
Good for you.
It's Saturday. That's Friday because the 27th is Saturday. Yeah.
I'm actually it'll be a double header weekend. So hopefully, hopefully that's going to work out beautifully for the type of venues we have. I feel like have lots of space and outdoor, space. And so hopefully that's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And the sweetest brides, oh my gosh, they're awesome. And obviously I've been, even with them, they haven't postponed because they didn't feel like they had to, which I don't think they're going to need to, but even with them, I've been in communication, that's the thing.
I think, and this is the conversation we've been having. I think that their wedding days will be different. I don't know that a June 25th needs to. We still have a June 6th and a June 13th on the calendar. The June 6th has a backup date
Oh,
I think it's wise that she's already got a backup date. I think June 6th gonna. I think I love her, and we've talked through this, but I think it's gonna be pushing it as far as getting people.
Yeah.
All the people that she wants there, and still being kind of in this in between phases stage. June 13th hasn't discussed a reschedule, and if she goes forward with it, then we'll be there. And if she decides to change it, then we'll change it. You know, that's kind of how I'm viewing the rest of our June brides. And then from there, our next one would be July the 10th, and July 10th is actually a reschedule from May 30th.
Yeah. So, that's the thing. So normally in the late summer, well, for me anyway, historically, it's been 5 years of full time, right. But like, I don't usually have August weddings, but this year I have one every single weekend. I'm like, but it's because of all of the spring moving to August, and which
we're going to lose so much weight. That's not even a joke. People, I've said that so many times. I'm like, I literally will be a beanpole by the time my summer weddings are over, because we don't shoot in the summer a lot.
Not that late in the summer when it's just scorching. So I've just been literally like Googling, okay, the coolest, or, you know, temperature wise, like linen dress, like something I can wear that circulates, because my goodness, like,
and you know, I'm not a dress girl, but I will probably be a dress girl in August when I'm shooting those. I can't stand dresses. Amy loves them. I hate them. I am a leggings, cute pair of boots, long tee kind of girl. She is a dress girl with a cute pair of shoes. That is where we are different. But for August, I'm pretty positive I will be in some type of linen attire.
Yes. Creams and your hair. I'm working on my stylish, you know, ponytail. Like I'm gonna get my friends that do ponies really cute with all the, like, I'm gonna do that.
You do it. Or a top knot. You know, I have a cute top knot that I do.
Girl, I've got my ballet Audrey.
My hair's curly today, so I just thought let it be.
Yes, I love it.
Let it. All right, so who is more goofy, Amy or Amy?
I don't know.
I think it depends on what environment we're in.
It does depend. Like, I feel like when we get together, you bring mine up. Like, just because
you know who else said that? Caitlin. She said, I'm not like this I'm not like this normally. And she's like, you bring it out of my dad called, y'all. My dad's calling. My dad calls. Okay, I'm running this church's social media page, and I'm loving it. But he calls me like 14 times a day right now, because he wants to know if do I need to do this? Do I need to do this? I love him to death. Y'all know I do. Anyway, all that to say, Caitlin said the same thing. She was like, I think it depends on when I'm around you. Okay. I may be a little goofy. It's fine. That's why people love me or hate me.
No, I think you just give people permission to be relaxed. So
I hope so. Sometimes I'm like, do people think I'm weird? I don't even care. I don't think I care. I don't think I care. All right, who is louder? That is a very okay. So I meet my match sometimes with Amy, because we both have very vibrant voices.
Yes,
I think this would be a tie on just like whoever's talking.
Yep. Also, you've never seen me in a dance rehearsal. So when I'm teaching dance and I'm trying to command the room to focus and listen, I get very
Demon Amy comes out.
And it can be very like, hey, you know, So I can definitely.
I think we both have big voices, and God gave them to us for a reason. It's to shut down those families when they're barking orders at us at a wedding. No, I'm just kidding. But sometimes I tell my couples, I'm like, you know, I'm like this all day, except for the family portrait session part. I was like, and I want you to just be aware that there's this part of me that comes out during that time. That is not silly Amy. It's very drill sergeant Amy, and I need everybody to obey that Amy.
Yes,
so we can get it done.
You have to, because people it's fine because they're supposed to be enjoying it, and they're gonna get distracted when you say, okay, everyone in this family, let's get with the bride and groom. They're going to want to hug the necks of all the cousins and the aunts and uncles that just came and they've seen for the first time in a year. Like, I get it. But you also have to be able to be like, hey, great, let's take this photo and then you'll be good to go. You know,
Exactly.
it's get them to do what you want them to do with kindness. Right.
Okay, so I had someone ask me, because I think everybody knows that Josh and I had a vow renewal last year.
Yeah.
And they know that you were pretty much the only person there. You were with me all day that day. So they wanted to hear from you about that, like what the day was like. I think they're wanting hidden secrets. There really weren't any hidden secrets, but Amy was with us. She was the only one with us all day.
It was so special. So I felt like, I mean, obviously Amy and I are really close. We're good friends, besties. And so when she let me in on it, it was a secret she had planned, which was really special because obviously Amy shares her life with people. So she doesn't just, keep things secretive. And so
and Misty said that's how she discovered the two of us. Was
oh my gosh, Misty, I love you. So I got to kind of like, I think I drove you. I think you rode with me. Like there was a lot of planning because you were surprising Josh. So you had to drop off like a car at the hotel with all these things.
Well, you were even with me at the hotel. You met me while I was getting my hair done. Josh didn't know I was anywhere. I had turned off my locations.
Right. So,
and you met me there.
Yes. And then we drove, like you got ready and then we did all the like getting ready photos, which is so neat because you and I both we got married before the era of details. Right. The type of photography totally transitioned right after we were married. And
I didn't have a wedding photographer, remember?
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that. And
you technically are my wedding photographer.
So I knew, like, the whole time I was thinking that in my head, like, we're still wanting to do one as well. So we just want these photos that we deliver to people now, in our own lives. And so, in our own stories. And so, it was really special to be able to deliver like detail shots for you and do all of that styling and bring really pretty things. And all that came together beautifully. And then getting your room set up because that was a surprise.
Right.
Josh, and then you getting ready and us taking those photos, and then I drove you so you could just kind of relax, which I love. And we drove guys to, what is the name of that? Perimeter
Church. Yeah,
Perimeter Church. And there's this beautiful little, I guess, gazebo. What do you call that? Just a little chapel?
They call it an outdoor chapel. It's like they've been having services there. Like that's where they've been doing the recordings.
Well, I mean, it's so pretty. Who wouldn't? That is beautiful. And so Amy hid away so she could be, totally shocking when she came out. She's so beautiful. Her outfit was so pretty. I loved it. Her flowers, oh my gosh, that was just amazing. But Josh came in with Rebecca, and she escorted him down to the gazebo where we were, the little chapel, and he started to tear up. Like, I mean, it was so precious because he totally got it then. Like, this is what we're doing. Oh, we must vow renewal, And so, that was just the sweetest thing. And just watching his like pure emotion. I'd never met Josh. So that was the first encounter I had with Josh. So I was like, I'm going to love this guy because, I mean, this is precious. Who would?
You were crying. I remember you were crying. It was so sweet. It was just one of those moments, like, I look back on it sometimes and I'm like, I know people think that was probably so cheesy, but in all honesty, like, it was one of those Avery's looking at me through the window like, hi, Mom. Lord. But I just remember you being overwhelmed. Like, I was crying. Josh was crying. My kids were crying. You were crying. And then Russell and Jay, Russell was Josh's associate at that time. And then Jay, I remember Jay reaching over and just hugging Josh, which is our pastor. Loving him. It was a full emotional.
And just from a photographer standpoint, I loved that people weren't there. I mean, I felt like I had full freedom to move. I literally shot from the back. I moved in front. Like, I feel like I got some really intimate moments of y'all, like really connecting and praying. And those are the kind of images that sometimes in church, I don't get because you're not allowed. And so, especially from that angle from the front. Like, you can't get up. They won't let you. So So that was just, and you guys are very special. I mean, I think that y'all been through a lot. And so you having that time set aside. I love vow renewals. I'm a fan.
I am too. I hope that more people, we actually have like the wedding that we shot this past weekend. It was very similar to our vow renewal. Like there was no one there. They were determined to get married. God bless them. They had waited for this day for so long. And so they went ahead and obviously proceeded with it with just their parents. And then they're going to actually have a vow renewal next year.
Nice.
As just kind of a moment of like being with their people. But I love it. And the intimate weddings, I am praying that people will find value in that, because after shooting that one, we have shot a couple like that are similar to that, but you see that what's important is then on display, which is the marriage, not the wedding, the marriage. It's important.
Yeah, it is. It is so special. And I cannot wait to do ours. I
can't wait either.
And it's been good to wait on the right timing because of, aligning the planets with our schedules, but it will be wonderful. And I'm very excited about that opportunity because, like I said, my photos from the beginning are just film, and I love film, but they were like just the traditional film, not the cool film now, but not the artistic,
not the art film,
not the artsy film medium.
We're talking about that Kodak rollout.
Yes. Just basic, like, okay, stand there.
I love it.
Formal, super formal. But and even though they're so pretty, like I'm looking at one up on my wall, they're precious and I love them.
I still value all of those. But
I would love to have actual footage of like that raw emotion. And so
now, like you know ours are hanging all over our house, and in fact I've just ordered a big one. I don't know how long it'll be till I get it slabs closed, but I have a big one that's going to hang in my office, and I wanted it to just be the florals sitting in that chair. I want something in my office that reminds me of the moment, but I don't want it to have to be like me and Josh, blah blah blah. But I'm going to put those just because anytime I see anything to do with that, it brings back that emotion. So if you've never done a vow renewal, I would highly suggest it. Find a photographer friend. That's what Amy and I decided to do. We're just doing a swapsies. So like she did mine for me, and when it's time for her, Josh and I are gonna go do hers. Like it's gonna be so fun. And that's the great thing about having a photographer friend. And even Amy, will finish up. We have like 3 minutes before it's gonna shut us off. So with us, another thing that we always do is we do branding photos for each other. So like if we meet up, we didn't this past time because it was,
well, we were both drained. Let's be real. We have been through a lot the last time.
We had. We both had kind of an emotional roller coaster, and we both kind of said, no photos, please, no photos this time. No photos. But typically when we meet up for lunch, we try to find a cool little area.
Yeah.
And we just snap a few photos before we go eat. I don't even think we spend 15 minutes doing it.
It's so quick, but it's usually some of the cutest moments. Headshots because we're so comfortable with each other. So
exactly. So if you don't have a friend like that in the photography world, I would highly suggest finding somebody that you can meet up with, at least once a quarter, to just say, hey, let's have lunch, let's laugh our tails off, but let's also bring our cameras where we can. And we honestly shoot them all on one camera, and we just use each other's cameras.
Yes. We do.
So we make it work. We just make it work. Before we get off, Amy, tell everybody where they can find you. Tell me your website, tell me your handle, and I'll do the same just in case you have some followers here.
So it's just at Amy J. Owen Photo. And then my website is amyjowenphoto.com. So, yeah.
And she's also on Facebook. Go engage with her on Facebook. Girlfriend doesn't get enough engagement on Facebook.
I'm bad at Facebook sometimes. So.
And I am at Amy Cole Photography, all one word. And watch her pup. Jen Pearson, and watch her pup. Buster is so dang cute.
He's so cute.
And if you don't follow Jen Pierce, go follow her and watch her pup too.
You need to see Mickey.
We love Mickey. And then my website is Amy-Cole Photography. People always think that my last name is Cole. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not even my maiden name.
It's your middle name, right?
Nicole is my middle name.
No, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, my entire life has called me Amy Cole. I mean, everybody still calls me Amy Cole if they've known me for a while. And so it was just very organic when we
Yeah.
opened the business that it would be Amy Cole.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Jim Pierce says they need a puppy play date.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, they do.
Could you imagine Daffy, Buster, and Mickey all in one room together? Daffy would be the dominant. She's such an old hen. She'd be like, listen, you two. Sit down. This is how we play the rules in my house.
Oh my gosh.
She's literally sitting here watching me right now like, when are you going to be done?
Like, yeah, are you going to pay attention to me?
Yeah. Hello. Old grandma here needs some help. She's a mess. I love it. All right, Amy, I love you so much. This is going to be on YouTube. If anybody didn't catch the whole thing, it'll be on YouTube at some point in the next 24 hours.
Awesome. Love you.
I love you, friend.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.